Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka number 9 of chapter 1. Anye cha bahava shuraha
Anye cha bahava shuraha
madarte tyakta jivitaha
madharte tyakta jivitaha
nana shastra praharanaha
nana shastra praharanaha
sarve yuddha visharadaha.
sarve yuddha visharadhaha.
Forward meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Anye,
Anye,
others,
others,
cha,
cha,
also,
also,
bahavaha,
bahavaha,
in great numbers,
in great numbers,
shuraha,
shuraha,
heroes,
heroes,
madarte,
matharthe,
for my sake,
for my sake,
tyakta jivitaha,
yakta jivitaha,
prepared to risk life,
prepare to risk life,
nana,
nana,
many,
many,
shastra, shastra,
shastra,
weapons,
weapons,
praharanaha,
praharanaha,
equipped with,
equipped with,
sarve,
sarve,
all of them,
all of them,
yuddha visharadaha,
yuddha visharadhaha,
experienced in military science.
experienced in military science.
Translation. There are many other heroes
There are many other heroes
who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake.
who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake.
All of them are well equipped
All of them are well equipped
with different kinds of weapons,
with different kinds of weapons,
and all are experienced in military science.
and all are experienced in military.
Yeah, so here Duryodhana is certainly convinced that he has a set of soldiers, a battalion, an army that is ready to lay down their life for his sake. So Prabhupada writes, as far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above-mentioned combined strength of his friends. From another paragraph, this commentary, Sri Krishna now describes the superior kind of renunciation, where we continue to perform our obligatory duties but give up attachment to the fruit of actions. He describes this as the highest kind of renunciation, which is situated in the mode of goodness. Renunciation is definitely necessary for spiritual attainment. But the problem is that people's understanding of renunciation is very shallow, and they consider it to be only the external abandonment of works. Such renunciation leads to hypocrisy, in which, while externally donning the robes of a renunciate, one internally contemplates upon the objects of the senses. There are many sadhus in India who come in this category. They left the world with the noble intention of God realization. But because the mind was not yet detached from the objects of their senses, their renunciation did not bestow the desired fruits. Consequently, they found their actions did not lead them to a higher spiritual life at all. The defect was in their sequence. They strove first for external renunciation and later for internal detachment. The instruction is to reverse the sequence. The first develop the internal detachment, and then we have to renounce externally. The more relevant commentary to this particular shloka is here. Hating the wrongs done to us blinds us to the wrongs done by us, in the sense that when we focus our attention on things that other people do that you may consider to be wrong to you, if you continue to focus on that, you have also forgotten the wrongs that you may have done to others. When we feel wronged, we often magnify our side of the story, while minimizing any other side the story may have. Such was the disposition of Duryodhana, the Kuru prince who felt that his cousins, the Pandavas, had wronged him by depriving him of his rightful kingdom. He had been born as the first son of the blind Kuru scion, Dhritarashtra. Due to his blindness, Dhritarashtra couldn't ascend the throne, which went to his younger brother Pandu. However, when Pandu retired early to the forest, Dhritarashtra became the caretaker king. During Dhritarashtra's reign, Duryodhana was the heir apparent and grew up as a pampered child with an entitlement mentality. When Pandu died prematurely, the Pandavas came to the Kuru kingdom. As the Pandavas were much more courteous than Duryodhana, the affection of the Kuru courtiers and citizens soon shifted from him to them, thereby triggering his envy. So what caused Duryodhana to start envying the Pandavas? Because he experienced that they were treated far better. Why? Because they themselves were very courteous with everybody else in the kingdom and in the palace. Over time, his envy degenerated to hate. He poisoned, burnt, and defrauded the Pandavas, and even tried to disrobe their wife. Despite his depravity, he remained utterly unremorseful and derisively dismissive of any peace efforts, making war inevitable. Yet he considered his cause so justified that he believed many great heroes were ready to die for him. Right? So he was, you could say that Dhritarashtra was physically blind, spiritually blind. Duryodhana was times 2 or much worse than that. He was so obsessed with winning the kingdom and being important. For some human beings, being important is very important. Duryodhana saw only the wrongs done to him, never the wrongs done by him. When we are wronged, how can we avoid being similarly deluded? By spiritualizing our consciousness before tackling the wrong. Instead of getting back at wrongdoers, perceived or actual, we can connect devotionally with our all-attractive Lord, Krishna. That divine connection will comfort and heal our inner wounds. With our composure thus restored, we can analyze and acknowledge any wrong on our part. Thereafter, we can act effectively, not for avenging the wrong, but for addressing the issue. So the one thing to remember is that if somebody has done us some wrong, there are only 3 options left for us. The first one is revenge. In the sense, tit for tat. You did me wrong, and therefore I am also going to do something to hurt you and to harm you. In this case, you are involved personally. So one is revenge. The second option is justice. In justice, you're not personally involved, but you're praying that the other person pays the price for or be taught a lesson for what they have done wrong to you. So in the concept of justice, you leave it up to a higher power, higher authority to fix the wrong that you feel was done to you. So first is revenge, where you take personal interest in making sure the other person is paid back appropriately. The second one is justice, where you're relying on some other authority, higher power, higher authority, to give that pay back to the other person. And the third option is to forgive. Of course, the third option is the best option. It's better to forgive, let go, and move on with your life. Because as long as you are meditating on revenge, and as long as you are thinking about justice, and if either the revenge doesn't play out in that life, or even if it does, or if justice happens in this life, or if it does not. So in the case that you're not able to exact revenge, or in the case that you feel justice was not done to you, then you will necessarily have to take births just so that you can interact with that soul again in the next life. Until you learn to either get your revenge or seek the justice or learn to forgive. So two souls are interconnected with each other in various ways because we hold on to something from the past. And because of that, two souls will have to take birth again, just so they can either resolve or whatever, take that next step. That next step may make things worse. That next step may allow you to let go and focus on growing yourself spiritually. So therefore, instead of seeking revenge or justice, it's better to deepen and strengthen your relationship with the most attractive of all personalities, Krishna. Because when you strengthen your relationship with Krishna, it has a great deal of healing power. Emotional wounds take some time to heal. It's very difficult to forgive another person right away if you feel you've been wronged. It takes time. But in the meantime, you can strengthen your connection with Krishna. And once your emotional wounds are healed, then it's easy to forgive and let go and move on with your life. So instead of avenging the wrong, you can try and address the issue the best way you can, but not with the mood of taking revenge or seeking payback, because that just increases your karmic reactions and increases your karmic cycles in your next life. So better to be safe than sorry, and the safer path is to just forgive and let go. Even deep down, if you may feel like you're not ready to forgive, forgiveness actually comes from the heart. But many people forgive just with words. But words is a better start than not having started at all. But forgiveness has to come from the heart. It cannot be restricted to just words. So that's the essence of this shloka, where Duryodhana is quite convinced that the people on his side will be more than willing and ready to lay down their life for him. Even though others may believe that he is not the most dharmic of kings, he definitely felt convinced that he had that kind of loyalty towards him. So that's the essence of what Duryodhana is telling Dronacharya here, that others are ready to lay down their lives for me.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.